Hello, everybody. My name is Gary, and I'm going to give a commentary on an article that I'd written that hasn't been published yet. And the name of the article is Then I Heard. And it's all about what I hear on the news nowadays and what my feelings are towards it. And I'm going to give you a disclaimer right now because of the fact of the sensitivity of this particular video. And by the way, this is one part of a two-part video, maybe three. I'm not certain yet. But anyway, the disclaimer goes like this. It says, at the risk of making people mad, which I'm sure it will make some folks mad, this is an advance notification to let you know that what you read in this article or hear in this commentary may or may not upset you. If you're in these following categories, then it probably you'll probably get quite upset, okay, because I'm not politically correct. So if you're gay, or if you are a criminal, or if you're an illegal immigrant, or a politician, then you probably will not like what you hear. Okay, and maybe you'll agree. I don't really know, And again, I at this point I'm not politically correct, so I really don't care whether you agree or not. And you have your right to think the way you think, and I have mine, to think the way I think. I am a legal American. I'm also a Vietnam vet, and as you can tell, of course, and I'm simply exercising my right of freedom of speech. So that being said, I was listening to the news last night, and it came, it suddenly popped into my head that we are really living in a crazy world, and it's getting crazier and crazier by the days and the months and the years. And I want you to bear in mind that, like I said, I've never been known to be politically correct. And furthermore, I have no desire to be politically correct. I have a desire to be brutally honest as to my viewpoints and my opinions. And, opinions, what the expression is about opinions. So anyway, I've never really had a place in my vocabulary for the term politically correct, nor will I ever have. So that being said, I was talking to my daughter-in-law today about the incident that took place in Starbucks. I'm sure you've heard about Starbucks, where the lady went in and she had a couple of lace bottles of some kind of a juice or drink, and she put them in the cold section of where Starbucks kept their cold drinks. And there was a customer there that observed her doing this and became suspicious of what she was doing. And so when she left, this customer was observant enough to take down her license plate number. Well, once she left, they went over and she informed the manager of what she'd seen. Her and the manager went over and felt the bottles, and apparently they were warm, or the containers were warm. And so upon further examination, they found out that this was laced with lethal doses of rubbing alcohol, and I believe it was acetone. I'm not too sure about that, but that's what I've heard. And the main question that popped into my mind, disgruntled employee, right? But no. And then I started wondering to myself, what kind of a person would do this? Furthermore, what made her do it? I mean, is she just a wacko? Probably so. And how could she do this? Knowing full well what the consequences would be. It didn't seem like the legalities of this didn't bother her at all. She had no conscience about it whatsoever. Well, I personally think that when the authorities went out to pick her up, which they did, that, in my opinion, they should have gotten her in a room, taken those two same drinks, and placed them right in front of her and said, now drink it. Now you might think that's cold to me, but you know what? An eye for an eye. What goes around comes around. This way, she could have experienced death in the maximum, and she would have experienced what these people, what anguish she would have put these people into, and pain, not to mention death, and the result of how it would affect their families. Am I wrong? I don't think so. I think she should have been made to drink them and reap what she sowed. So that's my opinion. Now you see where I'm coming from and what kind of guy I am. Okay, so then I heard, which is the name of this forum, on the news that a pro athlete, you all know who I'm talking about because it was widely televised all over the world, that he confessed that he was gay, you know. And I guess that means something. It doesn't mean anything to me because I'm not gay, you know. Matter of fact, you know, I don't feel like I have a need to advertise what my sexual preference really is. You know, I don't feel like anybody needs to say what their sexual preference is. Who cares, right? Now, if I truly believe that I don't have anything against homosexuals, which I really don't, I don't care what their sexual preference is. I'm not gay. Just leave me alone, you know? And I mean, that being said, it's brutally honest, you know? But at the same time, don't try to cram it down my throat. Because I don't care. I simply don't care as an American citizen. I really don't care if you're gay or not. I don't care if the whole community of gay people are gay. I'm not gay. Don't put me into your debates or issues. I don't care. You know, I simply don't care. And I'm not a hater. It's just that it means nothing to me. Okay? It means a lot to you guys, apparently, but... And recently this was on the ballot, you know, of same-sex marriage. And the public in California voted no. The majority of the public voted no. But for some reason, I get the striking image in my head that all the politicians in California that have political seats, they don't do their job. They do not do their jobs. And I mean, I want to fire them. Okay, I want to pull a Donald Trump on them and say, you're fired. As simple as that. And you know how I'm going to fire them? I'm going to fire them through my vote. I'm not going to vote for any incumbents that exist in California because of how they overturn the same-sex marriage thing when the public said no. That really ticks me off, you know? I mean, that's why we vote. That is why we vote, you know? And I mean, the no vote was the majority. So why is this stuff being force-fed to us when we don't want it to be force-fed? I don't care that you're gay. I don't care that the whole gay community is gay. It's not my problem, nor is it my preference. So don't try to cram it down my throat. And the same-sex marriage, I just simply don't believe in it. So I would vote no. And that's my take on it. Okay? There's total honesty. And I don't care how much you hate me for it. That's the way it is. Now, TV isn't like it was, you know. I probably just lost all the gay viewers, so that's okay. So anyway, TV isn't like it used to be. Censorship, there was a lot to be said for it in my day. And just to let you know, I'm 66 years old. Okay, and I don't know, in the days when I was being raised, there was censorship. People that ran the TV stations did give a damn. The censors gave a damn. Okay, they really cared about what my kids watched and what was available for us as our youth back in those days were exposed to, unlike today. You know, today everybody has, you know, everybody that's associated with TV or of what they expose on TV, they have no morals. They have no common sense. It's all about money. It's all about commercialism and how much they can make. They don't care, you know. I mean, I can have my son, you know, like a 9-year-old son or a 10-year-old son or whatever he may be. sitting by me, and all of a sudden this ad comes on for Viagra about erectile dysfunction. Now, why do I want to expose him to that? You know, be all you can be. You know, I mean, come on. You know, the kid has nothing left for his imagination. Then they get on there and discuss vaginal creams and maxi pads and the comfort of a tampon. I don't care. And I don't want my little daughter sitting there saying, well, okay, you know, this is, you know, something's going to happen to me and now I'm scared, you know, or I don't understand what they're talking about. It's confusing. And you're just simply not leaving anything there for these kids to experience on their own and to learn through their own guidance from their parents and their family. You'd much rather have some goofball get on TV and explain it. How about Victoria's Secrets? They show all these chicks coming out with their boobs half hanging out, and I mean, they're wearing their underwear on TV. It may not bother you, but it bothers me of what they see. You know, it's not right. There's nothing left to the imagination, and Victoria does not have any secrets anymore. You know, and my child just lost their imaginations. You know, or the future of being able to look forward to something. You know, my God, it's all about money. You know, and these people that run the TVs, that's all they care about. They care about what draws the money. Movies nowadays have become so terrible and violent. And what about these games they come out with for kids, you know, or for the general public, and then they'll make them X-rated or whatever, or for adult or whatever. But you know what? These games kill people. They dismember people. There's blood everywhere on these things. And even though they're rated a certain way, you know, there's no guarantee that these kids aren't going to get a hold of them and play them. And how do you think we get these goofballs going into school with guns and shooting people and all this kind of stuff? They think it's okay. It's an arcade game, you know, and for whatever warped reason their warped minds go through, especially if they're mentally unstable, then, I mean, these things are impressionable on our youth. And I truly believe that that's partially what the problem is. Now, I'm going to make this towards the end of this particular segment. And I'm sorry if you don't agree with what I'm saying. And I'm sorry if it makes you mad what I'm saying, because that's not my intent. My intent here is just to share with you what I feel is really disturbing in our society today. And, you know, I'm hoping that there's something that could be done about these type of issues. Number one, all the politicians, and I'm going to say this at the other segment as well, the politicians that are in office today, I'm gonna fire every one of them through my vote. I'm not going to vote for any incumbents. You know, and it's just, I don't care for what they're doing in Washington. I don't care what they're doing in my state capital. They're ignoring the voters, they're ignoring the people, and I'm just personally getting sick and tired of being ignored. If I vote no on an issue, I want it to be no, especially if the majority says no. I don't expect things to be thrown in my face time and time and time and time again. You know, if you have a sexual preference, keep it to yourself. I don't care. I don't care what your sexual preference is. You think, why would I care? I don't have an issue with gays. I really, really don't. Whatever your sexual preference is, hey, I was in the Navy. I got hit on by plenty of gay people and stuff. And I mean, all the Navy and servicemen always do, you know. But you know what? After a while, they left me alone because I just merely ignored them. And that's what I'm doing now. Okay. So I don't need that kind of stuff pushed down my throat when I was a kid in the Navy, or now. Thank you for listening to this first segment, and I hope you stay tuned for the second. God bless America.